Good.
Okay. Hey, Michael, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you, Karen?
I'm doing great. So I'm really excited about this series. How about yourself?
It's been great. Some of the comments have been fantastic. The feedback privately and publicly around having a relatable, vulnerable approach from two people coming from two different worlds, but in the same space that relates to hardship has been really terrific.
Oh, absolutely. And so let's just recap really quickly where we've been. So first we started talking about who this series is for. It's pretty much for anybody and everybody. We
Yeah.
talked about the different types of definitions of what a hardship might look like.
Yeah.
And then, I really liked how you and I talked a little bit about the negative, and I stressed the negative part of how we get impacted by hardships, because today we're going to actually transition into some of the positive things. What do you think? Did I get it right so far?
I think you nailed it.
Okay, so you also touched on something that I want to spend just a quick moment talking about. Again, we kind of have been going through the comments, the feedbacks
Mhm.
with this series, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. My heart is so touched to the very core that we have touched on something that's really bringing an impact to people. What's
Mhm.
been your take?
Yeah, I mean, the bulk of the comments have been positive.
Yes, absolutely.
I,
Absolutely.
like I've stated, I don't know if it was a number seven or a number eight. Like people are looking for relatability.
I couldn't agree with you more. And when I look through the comments, that's exactly, you're saying the same, the right thing really about that relatability. And something that I believe you and I have said before, I want people to understand. You and I, we talked about this before we ever did this series. We really felt it was important to be able to share
Yeah.
our own personal experiences, because we believed, and we still do believe, that there are a lot of people that may be able to relate with what we've been through. What is that kind of an accurate assessment of how you feel?
Yeah, at the end of the day, there's therapy and professional help,
Yes.
which is in no way minimized by this series.
Mm-hmm.
I would be conservative to say that when I landed on the therapist that I worked with through my own help that I needed, probably
Yeah.
did six or seven of them before I landed on the person that I chose. But then there were people outside of that scope that were qualified to relate to me as a man and what I was going through.
That's
And
right.
the notion that any person needs to be at a certain level of education or
Mm-hmm.
pedigree or
Mm-hmm.
credentials to
Yes.
relate is kind of silly for me. because
Well,
because in traditional therapeutic spaces, as I've experienced more than once, you don't always get that, and that's okay. And there's a reason for that, and I understand why that is. I always remember thinking like why can't I, why aren't these people sharing about them? I know why they don't, and I get that. I didn't understand that then, but I know why they don't.
yes,
Outside of
yes.
that, people want real people they can touch, feel, taste, hear, feel, whatever, to relate to. So that's what we're doing.